has developed a presentation process that can be used by all. Today, he'll give you insight into his and coaching credibility's philosophy of coaching speakers to the next level. Let's welcome Andy Pais.
I believe in everybody in here. I believe that everybody here can speak in public. I don't want to hear that I can't speak in front of 10 people, 2 people, 5 people. I want to hear from everybody that you all can speak in public. Can I hear it?
Yes.
What you can't do, though, in many cases, is present. Presenting and speaking in public are 2 completely different skill sets. Anybody in here can fill up 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 20 minutes, and we've all seen it done. There's a big difference when you get up here and you're prepared to present. That takes preparation. That takes participation. That takes planning. And it takes practice. Practice up here is not practice through here. Because you may have practiced it 100 times in your head. The first time it comes out your mouth is the first time you've ever said those words. Now, I am a professional speaker. I've spoken about sales, motivation, getting ahead in life. Why am I a coach? Because I realized, like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda, you can do more working through others than you can necessarily do by yourself. When you coach and when you help people, what you've done is multiplied your power, your force, your knowledge out into the world. And God knows when it comes to presenting today, we need all the force and power we can get from wherever we can find it. How many people in here have heard the whole thing that telling is not selling? Come on, all you salespeople, and I agree with you. Telling stories is selling. Telling stories makes you unique. Telling stories helps people to remember you. When I talked to Mike, I said, Mike, everybody buys your products. We all know what copiers are. There aren't that many difference. Why do they buy? They buy you. And I think of my friend Hank, who's my personal Yoda. May he rest in peace. He passed away last year. And I miss him tremendously. But he taught me how to tell stories. He taught me how important it was to be unique. Because Hank had a rule. People never want to be sold to. People want to buy. And who do they buy from? People they, and this was his word, perceive that they know, like, and trust. Product is product, service is service. When we go out there and we want to be recommended, we want to be able to say to somebody, I know this person and this is what makes this person different. These are the stories that they've told me. This is what makes them important to me and why I would use them and trust them. Because trust is everything. By the way, I just bring this up because I want to do this. I thank those who wished me a happy birthday, which was Tuesday. Thank you, everybody. Now, there's a reason for I'm bringing this up. Tuesday night, I got to talk to my sister who lives on the East Coast. Her name is Sharon. She's slightly older than me, so I always say I'm an only child with an older sister. My sister started the whole field of risk management in medical malpractice. She was a nurse, went to Mount Sinai Medical School, or nursing school at the time, and got involved as one of the first nurses to get into the whole field of risk management. She would go through the insurance company and decide whether or not it was real malpractice or not and whether they should settle. First time anybody from the medical side got involved in the legal side. Well, the reason I bring the story up is because she talked to me Tuesday night, and she told me about a case that just got settled in court. Interesting, and this is why it's so important for people to understand why you should have an advocate. Turns out there was a young male golfer, just happens to work out that way, who when he'd make his turn, had pain in his left leg, and it wouldn't go away. Turns out he had a bone tumor, cancer, in his leg. Went through all the tests, all the chemo, everything else, and wound up having to have surgery. They had to amputate just below his knee. Horrible. Was approached by a second-year resident. The papers look at it to sign. He's all drugged up. He looks at it and he says, Art, it says right leg, not left leg. The resident said, don't worry, I'll straighten it out. And you know how problems start and one just keeps compounding on the other? When they had him in the operating room, they did take off his right leg. And you know that the crime, the cover-up, is worse than the crime. They doctored all the records. They made it look as though the cancer had metastasized into his other leg, and they had to take it off. So here you have this young athlete, golfer, who has no legs, right? 5 years it was in court, and they fast-tracked it. It took 5 years. They kept on wanting to settle. My sister was involved, and she said, settle, settle, settle. The settlement went up, and of course, if you were my attorney, you would say, don't settle, right? They got to the case. It was just last week. And what did they call it? A summary judgment or something, Art? At that point, they went to a summary judgment, and the judge threw it out of court. He denied it. And he said, contrary to all the evidence, all the things I've read, all the things that I see, I can see myself that looking at your client, they don't have a leg to stand on. That is a story that sells. It had all the parts. I planned it. I practiced it. You participated.
Had me crying and stuff.
Had you quite emotionally involved. If you want to learn how to present on that level, I'm the guy to see. Thank you all for being out.